Hey guys, welcome back to another foundation road test. Today I am looking at Lancome Teint Idole Foundation Stick. I'm super excited to be trying out this foundation because I've been looking for a foundation that I could travel with, that I didn't have to decant into another container. Plus, I've heard just really good things about this foundation as far as being long wearing and not making you look greasy throughout the day. So I'm gonna read, as I usually do, what they say about this foundation, the claims, and all that good stuff. This retails for $42 for 0.31 ounces of product. When I initially got it, I have to say I was a little surprised by how tiny it was. The box was small. That was the first thing I noticed. So here is the lipstick box that arrived right next to it, and here's the box of the foundation. So it's pretty small. I was not expecting that. Even though I knew the ounces of the product, I was still taken aback. And if you look at it next to a MAC lipstick, which most people are pretty familiar with, this is the difference in size. Now, I know I've heard that there's a reason why stick foundations are smaller, they're more dense, you get more uses out of it just because they're more concentrated. I don't know. I tried to look up information. If anybody knows anything about that, please let me know. I rolled up the MAC lipstick and the foundation stick, and you can see here, that's just the difference, and that's how much product you get. Now, I do have it on my face now, and I really didn't need that much product. It's not like you're pouring out a liquid foundation. So maybe there's some truth to that you do use less. The shade that I'm in is 250 Bisque. I hope that you can see that. And there's a W next to that shade that stands for warm. They do have neutral, cool, and warm colors and 20 shades to choose from. So there's quite a range compared to a lot of foundations these days that blend with the skin and only give you, say, 8 shades. They claim that this is a 24-hour wear, highly pigmented foundation stick that provides high coverage and a super gliding, weightless texture for a matte finish. You get full coverage and comfortable long wear for those long days. This foundation's innovative, extreme, long-wearing formula gives all skin tones a flawless complexion, perfecting coverage all day. Its ultra lightweight, powder cream texture glides and blends on smoothly and flawlessly, covering imperfections while leaving a traceless second skin look. Formulated with broad spectrum SPF 21 for sun protection, it contains porous polymers that absorb excess acne-producing oils, leaving the skin looking mattified and pore and shine free. Transfer resistant and smudge resistant, it's infused with Ambora extract, which helps reduce the appearance of redness, making it suitable for all skin types, even sensitive skin. That's huge for me. This oil-free, pigment-rich makeup stick can be used as a concealer, and it glides on easily for custom contouring or highlighting. It's also fragrance-free, transfer-resistant, non-comedogenic, etc., etc., etc. If you're not familiar with my foundation road test or with my skin type, I do have oily combination sensitive skin, and I look for a foundation that will not accentuate any shininess during the day or break up in that T-zone during the day, but that also won't accentuate any dryness on the areas that sometimes I can get dry. I look for something that will help cover sunspots and redness that I tend to get, but not accentuate fine lines either. So finding the right foundation that lasts throughout the day, but that meets all these other criteria can kind of be quite a task. That is why I do the foundation road test, and hopefully it helps you guys out. And as usual, I do apply a pea-size amount of my primer first. I've been using the Guerlain Meteorites Base Pearls Perfecting Primer. I think that's the official name. I don't know. I use either the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer or this lately. Either one is fine for me. Whatever you use is fine. And I use my beauty blender on one side and my foundation brush on the other to see which method works better and looks better as the day goes on. Let's get to the application. Okay, so here we go, and I am going to do the beauty blender on this side. And I haven't used a stick foundation in so long, I kind of forgot how much I need to use and how to go about this. So I think I'm just going to kind of, oh, okay. It feels kind of almost powdery, I guess. Powdery but fluid, and you can see I have no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing. I'm just kind of spreading it on. And you know I don't usually like a very thick foundation, so let's just do one more here for good measure. And I'm using damp beauty blender. I didn't have a barrette in here to hold my hair back. Sorry about that, and I didn't want to go get one because I'm lazy today. Okay, it does seem to be going on very nicely. It's always hard to do that, like half of the nose with one thing and half of the nose with another and have it come out right. A transformer just blew right down the street. I heard it while I was filming and the electricity went out, and I think we're running on generator power right now. Just heard my son go outside. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so that was really quick. I'm gonna move on to the brush side now and see how this spreads. And I'm liking it so far. It's hard to talk and do this. This is usually why I fast forward through this part. But they say the stick foundations are supposed to be quick, so we're seeing how quick it is. I hope I'm in frame. Okay. What is he doing? Okay, I'm back. I do like it. I feel like it took away a lot of the redness and it evens skin tone, and it looks extremely natural and not heavy. That was my chief concern with the stick foundation. I am gonna see if I can layer it in a couple of spots. Right here where I need some coverage, I have a little red spot right here, and just on my nose. We'll see how this goes. And I'm just gonna put a tiny bit more in those areas. Maybe right there. I have some sunspots in these little areas. Oh, and on my nose. I mean, heck, let's just try it. Okay, when I looked more closely, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this because it is pores and you have to really almost be microscopic when you look at pores. On the brush side, I can see it kind of in the pores. On the Beauty Blender side, I can't. So I do like the application more on the Beauty Blender side than I do on the brush side. So I'll go ahead and state that right off the bat. It just looks more natural and more blended in with the skin right off the bat. I'm gonna finish my makeup and I'll get back with you. Overall, it's a beautiful foundation upon initial application. It looks really nice and it does give really good coverage. I did feel like it covered better with the Beauty Blender, I guess because I wasn't rubbing it and moving it all over the face. It glided on beautifully and seamlessly. It's comfortable, and I felt like I got a matte finish, but without it looking cakey or powdery. It just looks good and like good skin. It's not often that you really truly get that from a foundation that claims that. So let's see how this wears throughout the day. I will check in midday and let you guys know how it's going. Hey guys, I'm giving my 7-hour update with the stick foundation. I do like the way it looks up to this point so far. I've had to touch up twice with blotting sheets and translucent powder, which I think is pretty typical if you have an oily T-zone normally, so that's fine with me. But just upon looking, I think it looks good. My makeup still looks fresh and nice, and I like the way it feels. I still do like the way it looks on the Beauty Blender side, more so than the foundation brush side. So that is my quick update after 7 hours, and I will see you at the end of the day. Hey guys, it's the end of the day, and I wanted to give my final verdict on the Lancome Teint Idole Stick Foundation. So I am completely ditching my original end of day verdict on this foundation. The reason why is because when I tried this foundation, it was to have a stick foundation on hand that I could travel with and not take up space in my liquids bag when I fly. And if I could use it on a daily basis, that would be a bonus for me. And what happens with foundation road tests, just so you guys know, is that if I try a foundation that I have not tried before, if I'm completely naive to it and it's a first impression for me, I keep trying it after I've done my thorough foundation road test that might last a day or two. But I do keep trying it as the week goes on, and I did that with this foundation because I'd never worn it before, and most of the time it's consistent. Everything stays the same, wears the same. This did not. So I had to supersede my original thoughts and chime in here and just tell you how things went as I continued to wear this for the next week or so. I'll give you a summary of what I'd originally said that day, because if I actually put in here what I said, this video is going to be 30 minutes long and none of us want that. Basically, it wore well. I wore it for 12 hours, but I had to blot and touch up with translucent powder about 5 to 6 times. I did like the side with the Beauty Blender better still as the day wore on. I did notice when I looked really close up that I did have some breaking up right here, but it was only really, really close. What I had said originally was that I felt like it was long wearing, my makeup still looked good, it gave me a soft matte finish, and that it was good if you didn't mind touching up during the day. The reason why I have refilmed an ending is because as I continued to wear it, I grew more and more frustrated with the touch-ups. I tried it different ways. I mean, you name it, I tried it. I used it with the Guerlain primer again, with the Guerlain primer and a setting spray. I used it with my Hourglass primer without a primer, with Tarte's Clean Slate primer. I tried using the setting spray on my skin before the primer. I tried it all different ways, and I still had to touch up every time. And most of the time at the end of the day, I looked really cakey and things were breaking up here and all along here. And I just wasn't happy with the way that I looked at the end of the day, really any day. I don't know if any of you travel extensively, but when you travel by air, if you have combination oily skin and you stay in hotels and you're in conventions or meetings in these hotels, or just if you travel by air in general, I know I am oilier in these environments. I have to blot more often than I usually do in my normal environment. And if I'm already having to blot and touch up and ending up cakey at the end of the day and having things broken up and just not looking good, it's gonna be worse when I travel. And so this is not gonna work. It's not working for me on a daily basis for some reason, and it's just not gonna work for me for travel. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I'm the odd man out here, that this is just not working for me. I don't think that I have the oiliest skin on the planet. What I have on right now is Too Faced Born This Way. And I know there are people with oily skin that cannot wear this. It slides off their face, but I've had this on for about 9 hours, and I have touched up with blotting papers and translucent powder twice. With this, I don't even know how many times I would have had to have touched up, and I would have looked completely greasy every single time. I'm disappointed because I really did want a stick foundation to travel with really badly, and I thought that this would be the one, and it's just unfortunately not the one for me. And I know everybody's different. This may work really, really well for some people, but I really wanted to come back on here and give you guys an honest review since I have been wearing it for, I don't know, a week or a week and a half since that filming. So unfortunately, this is a foundation road test that did not go well. And if you guys have suggestions for other stick foundations, please let me know. I will be happy to try them at some point. And I can't speak for everyone. Everyone's different. There are some combination oily skin people that wear this really well. It's $42. I talked about in the beginning, there's not a lot of product here, but a little does go a long way. It does cover pretty well, and it does look really beautiful for the first few hours. So if you're one of those people that maybe with normal skin, or one of those lucky people that for some reason can get it to work for you, it could be a good option. But unfortunately for me, it was not. Hopefully the next foundation road test will be a better one than this one. I hope that this one was helpful for you,
and that you will come back for the next one. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button today. And if you are not following me on my social media platforms, those are on the screen and in the description box as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.